up? Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Princess, SoundCloud. I'm slouching. I'm being lazy. My bad. It's good light right here though. So, this is not gonna be a sports thing. I know y'all want me to talk about sports, but sometimes I just get something in my head and I want to talk about it. And since I don't go out much, you know, YouTube. Anyways, Sodi, my neighbors are moving. More of my neighbors are moving. But here's a Sodi to them. And they don't like me, but here's to you guys anyway. Take care. God bless. If you guys would stop over and have a Sodi with me, you can do that. But if not, yeah, God bless. So I wanted to talk about a military experience that I had because I just want to talk about it. Bad deal. It was bad. It was a bad deal. All right, so when I was in the military, I was in all the way up to 1991. Now, basically, that's when Desert Storm was declared. So I'm a peacetime veteran, although my last few days, war was already declared. And actually, my last few months, because my unit couldn't move out with the neighboring unit. My best friend was in the neighboring unit, so he left. I didn't see him till 20 years. Oh, I didn't hear from him till 20 years later. But he told me some crazy stuff had gone on over there. But while they were over there fighting, there was crazy stuff happening where I was not. I was in Fort Riley, Kansas. I was, I was a 94 Bravo, which was a cook, and I was attached to an MP unit, and they couldn't stand me. But nonetheless, I worked for the jail. You know what I mean? But I used to go out. I was 20, so I'd go out to the club. Just saying, I go out there, do my little thing. I was corny because I didn't belong there, but nonetheless, that's what we did. But I was a major fixture in the NCO club, and basically, what had happened was once the soldiers cleared out, thousands and thousands of soldiers. Fort Riley's the third largest fort that we have. It's where the tank units are. It's where the M1s are. I mean, you can be driving along and get lost, and next thing you know, you end up on a tank range. Like it's just so vast. It's literally a city on Fort Riley. Once you go up on the hill and you see all those barracks, it is crazy up there. It's a lot of people, but nonetheless, all of 44 SIG, they left the skeleton crew behind, but 44 SIG went to war when they called on them. So, and they're going to go again if they call on them again. You better believe right now they're gearing up to go. Because like I said, 44 SIG is tank units. So if they have to deploy them, it's going to be something. But what had happened was a lot of husbands had left. And I was always in the club. So while I was in the club, I kind of knew every face in there. I ain't talked to everybody in there, but, you knew who the regulars were. Next thing you know, you start seeing a bunch of women come in there that you'd never seen before. And they didn't come in there like, I'm just gonna sip a soda and get out. Nah. They came in there hunting. They was looking for soldiers. They was looking for, they was looking for a good time. And one of them I ran into, I was on the dance floor, getting it. And she, kind of walked out on the dance floor. I looked at her and I said, I ain't never seen you before. She was like, I know, I've never been in here. And so, we got to talking, and eventually she told me she's married. I left her alone. I ain't do nothing with her. It's the first and last time I saw her. But nonetheless, you saw more and more of that. So what has started happening is some of these soldiers started coming home. Some of them were starting to come home. And when some of them started coming home, they were finding out that their wives were cheating on them. So basically, it started a war at home. Next thing you know, like we were asleep one night, and in the barracks right behind me, like my neighbor in the bed, a Marine. I don't know where this Marine base was that he came from, but came up on Fort Riley and shot one of his, shot his wife because he heard she'd been cheating. And then after he shot her, he left and then he killed himself. Now after that happened, kind of find out he only shot her in the shoulder. She went down, so she still lived. So next thing you know, a lot of this stuff started happening. And there's some really terrible stories I'm not even going to share, but when you hear an Army person say, Jody's got your girl and gone, that's what they're talking about. And it's a bad deal because it happens so much. For you people who are either in the military or trying to go to the military, I like to share my experiences because, the military is real. It's not a game. It's it's real situations. This is real. It's even more real than being on the block. You think you're protected because you're in the Army and you're all, nah, things can go wrong real fast in the service as soon as you get in. Now, a lot of people get in the service and they get married. I don't say, yes, do this, and I don't say, no, don't do it. If that's where God leads you to be married, then make sure that you understand that you're going to get deployed. It may not be across the seas, but you're going to get deployed. And if you're married and your woman is also in the military, she's going to get deployed. Now, what you're going to try to do is get deployed together. Well, it doesn't always work like that. Because whatever your job is, you may be needed 10,000 miles away. It's very real. This is why marriage life in the military starts to fall apart real quick. It really does. And it doesn't matter what you look like, because I've seen some beautiful, beautiful women in the military just unhappy because their husbands were just, out there doing whatever. As a matter of fact, the one chick's, her husband was a civilian. Oh my God, she is pretty close to being one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life, naturally. She was unreal beautiful. Like, it was ridiculous how gorgeous this woman, even after 3 kids, she was ridiculous. But she had a cheating spouse, so she wasn't happy at all. Now, I don't think she went out and did anything, but nonetheless, I'm saying that it happens on both sides. The spouse can be a civilian, and and we were in Germany, so she bring him all the way to Germany with the 3 kids, and he was a cheater, but he was very protective because he knew how good looking his wife was, and all those military soldiers there, all those young guys like me at the time, we're looking at your wife. Now, I never hit on her, but nonetheless, we're looking at her because she's just gorgeous. So I'm just telling you people about that life. Once you get in the military, you got to be about that life. Military is not just something you go in, do, and dip out. It becomes your life. It's a part of your life. I've been out of the military for over 20 years. I am still affected by the military. That I got out the army back in '91. I'm still affected by it. So I'm just letting you guys know. Know what you're getting into. I mean, it was a different time back then, but still, the things that are happening then are happening now. So if you're looking to get married in the military, don't be young and just naive. Be up on things. You know what I'm saying? Soldiers get drunk. A lot. A lot of them have DUIs. You know, a lot of them get Article 15s and lose their driver's license. A lot of them get kicked out of the military because of fighting and DUIs and messing with somebody else's spouse. You know, that's a big, big, big Article 15. And you don't want that noise because you're going to get stripped of your rank, which means you're going to lose money. And that's just how it goes, you know. You know, you get stripped of your rank, say you're an E4, you get all the way busted down to an E1, that's a hell of a lot of money you just lost. And you're going to feel it. This is why you have a lot of soldiers who are hungry, literally hungry, and they can't feed themselves because what they did was they made this money and they have automatic things coming out of their paycheck, car notes, house notes, or whatever it is, coming out their paycheck. Then they get busted down for something they did or didn't do, but they get Article 15 for it, and next thing you know, once all their money's gone, they have no money. Like, they can only eat on, you know, at the barracks, you know, and then sometimes as a family, that's just not good enough. Next thing you know, you have a lot of very soldiers who are living on the edge because now they can't feed their family. Literally. So some of them opt to get extra jobs. You know, they start delivering pizza, which is a good thing to do. It's kind of hard not unless you got a stable regiment on your job, you know, and it's operating like a 9 to 5. But if you're on call, if you're on CQ or anything like that, you're going to have to skip that. So you work your way around it. But you can pick up an extra job in the military. And listen, I suggest when you go into the military, whenever you get ETS to your permanent, you know, to where your job is going to be, whether it's in Germany for 2 years, whether you're wherever you're going for, you know, that 2 years, get another job. Find another job. And here's another thing I suggest. Either you find another job or you start taking classes for school. You just start automatically taking school classes. You start getting credits. Like, do that. This will help you stay out of trouble. Just letting you guys know, there's a lot of trouble in the military. It's like a big campus and trouble will find you. But you don't have to be in it. It doesn't have to be a part of your life. And if you get married, just know all the pitfalls of being married while you're in the military. Be wise first. You know, be smart about it. And yeah, it's your boy Tone 202. Peace.